Captain James Harper had flown everything from sleek fighter jets to massive cargo planes, but nothing in his 20 years of aviation experience had prepared him for what happened that autumn morning. The sun was just rising, painting the runway in a golden hue when he spotted a scruffy little terrier trotting purposefully across the airfield. At first, he thought it was just another stray. Airfields often had a few wandering animals, but there was something unusual about the way this dog moved. With an almost human-like determination, it darted under a row of parked planes, then circled back as if it were challenging him to follow. James shook his head, chuckling. "Crazy little mutt," he muttered under his breath as he climbed into the cockpit of his Cessna 172. He was scheduled for a routine training flight, just a quick hour of circuits and touch and goes to check some new instrument calibrations. The engine roared to life, and he taxied toward the runway, expecting nothing more than a peaceful flight. But then, something extraordinary happened. As he lifted off, the terrier appeared at the edge of the field, running in perfect synchronization with the plane's path. James frowned, leaning closer to the windshield. "No way," he whispered. The dog wasn't just running, it was keeping pace with the Cessna, matching its turns, dodging small obstacles, and somehow staying on the runway line as if it had been trained by a master pilot. Minutes passed, and James began to realize that the dog wasn't just playing. Every maneuver he made, the dog mirrored perfectly on the ground below. When he banked left, the dog weaved left between the runway lights. When he ascended, the dog paused on its hind legs for a moment, almost as if taking a breath, then continued running as he leveled off. James's heart pounded with a mix of astonishment and a hint of fear. "This dog, it can't be real," he murmured, gripping the yoke. Curiosity took over fear, and James decided to put the dog to the ultimate test. He performed a series of steep turns, sudden drops, and even a tight spiral, something any ordinary dog could never survive on foot. Yet somehow, the terrier followed flawlessly, weaving between objects and never breaking stride. By now, James was both terrified and fascinated. "You've got to be the smartest animal I've ever seen," he said aloud, laughing nervously. Landing back on the runway, James was certain the dog would finally stop, but instead, it trotted up to the cockpit, wagging its tail proudly as if to say, "See, I told you I could do it." Shaking his head in disbelief, he reached down to open the canopy. The terrier jumped onto the wing, looking up at him with bright, intelligent eyes that seemed almost human. That's when James realized this dog wasn't crazy at all. He was extraordinary. Over the next few days, James discovered that Maverick, whom he now named Maverick, had a habit of training pilots. Local airfield veterans told him stories of how Maverick had followed every plane on the strip for years, seemingly understanding speed, altitude, and turns, yet never getting injured. Some claimed the dog had saved more than one rookie pilot from a landing mishap by running across the runway at just the right moment, forcing them to adjust. James couldn't explain it scientifically. He couldn't understand how a dog could have such precision or instincts, but he didn't need to. Maverick had become his co-pilot in spirit, a reminder that intelligence and bravery often came in the smallest, furriest packages. From that day forward, every time James took to the skies, he would glance down, half expecting to see Maverick trotting below, keeping pace with him, and he would smile, thinking the dog may have seemed crazy, but the dog was a genius. And from then on, James never flew alone. If you enjoyed this story and want more intense thrillers and suspenseful adventures, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share it with friends who love a good mystery. Your support helps me bring you more stories just like this one.